All right, back for part two. Same thing we've been doing, more areas and perimeter with this factoring thing. All right, again, very similar to what we did last week. Okay, so again, we've got another example where a equals 1, right? We're talking about a, I mean that coefficient, that number in front of the squared term, right? That guy being our a, our b is the 11, and then our c is the 28, right? So when a is 1, those are like your easy ones, right? Because all we're worried about, we're just looking for two numbers that multiply to c, in that case 28, and then they need to add up and give us 11, right? The only hard ones where we have to do the diamond in the box, that's when that first number in front of the squared term, this number right here, when that number is not 1, that's when we have to do those extra steps. As long as it is 1, we've got it easy, right? So we got to think about, again, always do the multiplication part first. Think about what multiplies to 28. Don't try thinking about what adds to 11 and see if that multiplies to 28, because that can take a lot longer and you can be going all day. So look for what multiplies to 28. All right. And of those numbers that multiply to 28, you'll notice that 4 and 7, not only do they multiply to 28, but they also add up to 11, right? So that gives us our factors, x plus 4, x plus 7. So those would be the side lengths of that cover, right? We have like one of our sides that would be x plus 4, the other side is x plus 7. All right, and remember what perimeter is, right? We're adding all those sides up. So opposite sides are going to be the same because it's a rectangle. So that is also an x plus 4. That's an x plus 7. So if I'm going to add them all up, I would have 2 times the length. So 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. All right, so we're going to distribute the 2's. So 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 7 is 14. Same thing over here. Distribute that 2. So 2 times x is 2x, and 2 times 4 is 8. All right, you want to look for like terms. Which ones can we actually combine? So we can go ahead, we can combine the x's here. 2x and 2x gives us 4x. And we can combine the numbers. 14 and 8 gives us 22. There is your perimeter. If you wanted to include units, you could technically say 4x plus 22 units. If you want, because they didn't really give us like feet, inches, centimeters, anything like that. So you could, if you wanted to include your units, you could just write units. All right, we got another one. This time a is not 1, right? We've got 6, so it's going to be extra steps. So again, you can always check those videos from yesterday as far as factoring when a is not 1, if you need more practice doing the diamond in the box and all of that. All right, so what we've got as far as our diamond, remember what goes up top is your b. So it's going to be a 17 up top. And what goes at the bottom is a, so 6, multiplied by c. So what goes in here is 6 times negative 45. And that is going to give you a negative 270. All right, so what we're looking for is we're looking for two numbers. They multiply to negative 270, and they add up to 17. All right, this one might take a little bit more thinking. This is a hard one because you got to think about what multiplies to 270. So we've got some options here. But after figuring stuff out, thinking a little bit, thinking of all the things that can multiply up and give us 270, what you'll find is that 27 times 10 is 270. But we need one of those to be negative, right? So we're figuring out how can we combine these together to give us 17. Which one needs to be negative? So is it 27 minus 10, 17, or is 10 minus 27, 17? Well, since this number is positive, we want the smaller number to be the negative one, right? So it's going to be 27 and minus 10, right? Because we know 27 minus 10 is 17. And when we multiply them together, that gives us negative 270. All right, so from there, we can set up the box. Let's set up that box. So we've got a goes up in the top left, so you've got 6f squared. Down in the bottom right, you've got negative 45. And then those two numbers, don't forget, it doesn't matter the order, which one goes where, but those two numbers we found, so 27 and negative 10, we're going to put a letter on it, so the f, and they are going to go in the other two spots. All right. So we're going to go column by column, row by row, take out greatest common factor. So let's go here first. So 6 and negative 10. We're looking for the largest number that goes into 6 and negative 10. That number is 2. And then from f squared and f, we can take out the smallest power, so just an f. And then we're going to come look over here on the green. 27 and negative 45, the largest number that goes into both of those is going to be a 9. Right? We can't take out an f because that negative 45 does not have an f. They both got to have the letter to take out the letter. All right, let's look at this top row in yellow. So 6 and 27, the biggest number that goes into both of those is 3. And then f squared and f, again, we can take out an f. And then negative 10f, negative 45. Remember, the only time that we take out a negative is when both of the numbers are negative. So this time we will be taking out a negative. And the largest number that goes into both 10 and 45 down here, the largest number that goes into both is a negative 5. All right, so that gives us our two expressions to represent the side lengths, right? We've got 2f plus 9 is one side, and 3f minus 5 is the other side, right? And then your perimeter, remember, you're just adding them up. You're just adding them up. But, right, we've got 2 of each, right? If this is a 2f plus 9, this is also a 2f plus 9. If this is a 3f minus 5, this is also a 3f minus 5. Awesome. All right, so let's add all these up. So we've got 2 of each, so we've got 2 times the width, and we've got 2 times the length. All right, so let's distribute. Distribute the 2. So 2 times 2f is 4f. 2 times 9 is 18. Let's distribute over here. So 2 times 3f is 6f. 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. So we're going to go combine our like terms. 4f plus 6f gives us 10f. And then 18 minus 10 gives us 8. So it gives us a final answer of 10f plus 8. And if you want, we could say units. All right, there we go. And again, if you need help with this, always reach out to me, text me, email me. You can talk to the substitute as well. And you can also always pause the video, slow it down if you need to. All right, we got a couple more of these. All right, so this time it's going to be a square, and we're looking for the side length. Let's see what we've got. All right, first thing you want to notice, A is not 1, right? We've got a 4 out there in front of being squared. So immediately when you see that, you want to think about setting that diamond up. Remember, what goes up top is the B. So 12 goes up top. And then A times C, so 4 times 9 is what's going to go down here. All right, so that's got us looking for two numbers. They're going to multiply together and give us 36. They're going to add together and give us 12. All right, and those two numbers, 6 and 6. All right, so from there, again, same thing we were doing yesterday. We're going to go to the box. Top left is that whole squared term, so 4n squared. Bottom right is C. And then those other two, we're going to use those two numbers, attach a letter to it. And then those two numbers are 6, so it's just going to be 6n both times. And again, if you need to see that slower, you can look at yesterday's video. I go through it a little bit slower yesterday's video. All right, column by column, row by row, let's look for our greatest common factors. So 4 and 6. The largest number that goes into 4 that also goes into 6 is 2. Between n squared and n, we can take out an n. And then let's come over here to the other column. The largest number that goes into 6 and 9 is 3. And we can't take out an n because that 9 doesn't have an n. And it's going to be the same thing again. So if we look here, 4n squared plus 6n. Oh, sorry, 4n squared and 6n. We already did that, right? We did that in the green column. And that gives us a 2n. And then down here below, we did that in the column on the right, 6n and 9. The greatest common factor is 3. So the side lengths are going to be 2n plus 3. So we could say the side length is 2n plus 3, or 2n plus 3 units. And there you go. So 2n plus 3 is the side length right here. All right, and the perimeter, remember what you're doing for perimeter, you're just multiplying that side length by 4. Right, because all 4 sides are the same. You want to think about a square, right? Again, we're just going around all 4 sides, and they're all the same. So you're just multiplying one of them by 4. So you can distribute that 4 4 times 2n is 8n. 4 times 3 is 12. So that is going to be your perimeter. All right, one more, but it's the easy kind, right? Because notice A is equal to 1 right here. So again, all we're looking for when we got these easy kinds, we just want to multiply to C. So 6, right? Remember, that's your C. And then we're going to add up to B. So -5, right? That's the B term. All right, so think about what multiplies to 6 and adds to -5. And what you're going to find is, right, to multiply to a positive and add to a negative, we're going to need 2 negatives. And it's going to be a -2 and a -3. So when we multiply them, you get a +6. When you add them, you get a -5. All right, so that gives us the factors x minus 2, x minus 3. So those are the two expressions that represent the side lengths. So we could say one side is x minus 2 units, and the other is x minus 3. We could say call one of them the width, one of them the length. It won't matter which one. Just call one the width, one the length. You're going to be correct. And then as far as the perimeter, think about what we're working with here. So we've got one side is x minus 3. The other side is x minus 2. Right? So perimeter, you're just going all the way around. So we're going to have 2 of each, right? Because the top and the bottom are the same. So we have 2 of those. Plus, we also have to go around the left and the right. And those are the same as well. All right, so let's distribute that. Combine like terms. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times -2 is -4. And then we got a plus. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times -3 is -6. And then we got combine like terms. So we got 2x and 2x gives us 4x. Then -4 minus 6 gives us -10. And that will be our units. 4x minus 10 units. All right, if you have questions, please let me know. Talk to the substitute, text me, email me. I'm always available during class time, after class time. And check out the videos from yesterday. If you need some help with the factoring steps, go ahead, take a look at those because I go through it a little bit slower yesterday. So that way you can get some help with that. All right, good luck.